Hey everyone, it's Barbie J. Welcome to my channel, June BLC. Hey there, my Tyler Perry Sisters fans. We are back with the second half of season 7. What are we calling it? 7B? Whatever. So I am here with the recap and review of Tyler Perry Sisters season 7, episode 12, Next Level. I have no idea what that means. Because if you ask me, this episode was leveled to the ground. It was not all that. I don't know. Some people were saying the hype there was no hype for this that I saw of. I mean, they show these scenes and you think it's going to be something, but it don't be. So we should have already learned from that it's never what they show us, what it seems it may be. This episode was like blah, if you ask me. There was too many scenes that were unnecessary. I think we could have left out every scene that had what's his name? Sabrina in it. That had with Grayson in it. I just like why are we doing this? And we could have left out what's Danny's name? Is it John? I don't even know his damn name no more. I mean, we could have left that out. I'm just saying. But anyway, before we get started, if you have not subscribed to this channel as of yet, please take a moment right now and subscribe to June BLC. That's right, y'all. And then I ask that you hit that notification bell and select all, and it'll let you know every time I upload any new content to this channel. Then I ask that you smash that like button, write a comment, join the conversation, and share, because sharing is caring. So now this episode starts off with Miss Lisa learning from Karen that her twins will have two different baby daddies, okay? And Karen is concerned that it'll make her look like a slut or a loose woman. Well, if the shoe fits, wear it, girl. And Miss Lisa is trying to make her feel better by telling her not to worry about it, what people think, because everybody has done something in their past and blah, 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 blah. But I'm sitting there going, Miss Lisa, darling, you ain't considering what was going to happen when them twins start daycare and school and get older. The teachers, the other parents, they all going to be talking about her. Hello. Get past this, Miss Lisa. I thought you was intelligent, honey, please. Then Zach calls about the DNA results, and Karen asks him to come over the next day to tell him, in person. She don't want to tell it over the phone. Fine. Then we got a scene with Andy and Fatima. They're at Gary's office trying to get him to tell him what he did to Penelope. Andy just makes me sick. I'm telling y'all right now. I'm sorry, but she does. Gary turns it on. He turns it around on Andy and says, maybe you did something to my fiance so that you can get me back. Isn't that what you're doing? Oh, Gary, you know that I didn't do anything to her. Come on, Gary, tell us where she is. I was like, oh my God. And they don't change her voice. And as I look at her more, it looked like she might have done more work to her face, between the cheekbones, the lips, and the chin. It's just, Andy just looks different. I don't like it. And then she lost all that weight. She looks so thin. Anywho, that's me, but I could see it, and it just bothers me when people just mess with their faces and their looks so much. Anyway, Andy and Fatima, they decide to leave out of the office because Gary ain't telling nothing. Fatima had the knife to his throat and all of that stuff. He didn't care. So Andy happened to turn around and see the blood on the wall. Now I'm like, girl, you should have had Fatima come back in to see that blood stain too, to have proof, get a picture of it or something, because Gary's back was towards them. You know what I mean? But this is what I keep telling y'all, why Andy doesn't deserve that partner's position. Because she's not even, she can't even handle it. And not even that. Did y'all hear Gary say when he sat down that he owns the police? Andy was like, we'll just go to the police and let the authorities handle it. No, he said he owns the police. And then while she's driving with Fatima, she tells Fatima that she saw the blood on the wall and that they should go to the police. But y'all tell me, why did Fatima have to tell Andy, oh, you need to go and tell Jordan first? Duh. That's what she should have done in the first doggone place. But like I told y'all, Andy's not that bright. I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. Next, we got Hayden and Tamara. They're about to have a romantic evening. But we have Gary up there texting Tamara to come over and see him, and she's texting him saying she can't. And then Hayden gets a text from Miss Marie, or was it a call from Miss Marie, who's looking for Andy and stuff, and she wants to have an impromptu meeting right away. So Hayden has to leave. They both say I love you to each other, and then Tamara goes and texts Gary back saying she's on her way. And she shows up at his office. They start kissing. He bends her over his desk and gonna take her from the rear. I said, okay, here we go. So now we have Andy. She goes to Jordan's house. He's not there. She calls him and he's asleep. And he's asked, is everything okay? And her dumb behind says, oh, well, I just want to discuss something with you, but it can wait. Oh, hell to the no, it can't. What the hell is wrong with her? It cannot wait. I was like, oh, goodness. The more time delayed in trying to find his sister, the worse it got. His sister is missing. You saw blood in the wall, and you don't think that was the time to tell him? I would have told him. He would have probably forgotten about that damn meeting. And had she told him all of this stuff right away, maybe they would have beat Gary to the damn police precinct. You know what I mean? Anyway, now it's morning, and Zach tells Fatima that Karen just called and the DNA results are in, and she wants him to come over later that night. And Fatima says she'll meet him there, and Zach seems a little bit like annoyed, but he's like, fine. Then he looks at little Mikey, talking about, oh, you think people boss you around now? Wait till you get a girlfriend. I was like, he's so stupid. But first of all, why he lie? Karen did not call that morning. He called Karen that night and did it. Zach gonna end up losing Fatima, or he gonna end up alone for a long time, because the way they got him behaving, I do not like. It is so disrespectful, if you ask me, especially when the way he was behaving at Karen's house. And I'll get to that in a moment. We got Sabrina. She's annoying me too. Why is she telling Danny she needs to apologize to Karen? Stop with the she's pregnant and her hormones excuses. Enough is enough with all of that already. You know, Karen called all of them biatches and basically said she don't even need them, and that she don't want to be bothered with them, or whatever she was saying. You know, she was done with them. Come on, Pam. She didn't need them. Then we have Sabrina trying to inject herself with a needle in her office. Then she hears Maurice and another coworker named Carrie arguing about a diet soda that Maurice took and drank. And I'm like, you see, this was a mistake for her to bring him back. And I tell you why. Because when Sabrina goes out there and asks them to lower their voices and stop, Maurice said no. And he kept going and kept going. This is like his first day or first week back, and he's already starting trouble. He's already making a scene. Also, the co-worker said that everyone knows that he got to come back there because he's friends with Sabrina. See what I'm saying? That was a dumb decision that she made as the branch manager to bring him back because he's your friend, but your friend gonna make you look bad because she can't control Maurice and Maurice can't even control Maurice. He thinks he could do whatever he wants, and you're supposed to be his friends. He's walking all over you. So Sabrina tells Carrie that she'll buy her 12 diet sodas or something like that. And she tells Maurice, get into my office. He said, no, I got to go into the office. She said, get into my office. The next thing you see, she done had him inject her with whatever that was she was trying to do. And she's letting him know, she's trying to talk to him, letting him know, you know, everybody doesn't need to know that because we're friends, I brought you back. But I'm like, he don't know how to be respectful. So that's what's going to happen, Sabrina. And you should have known that. You know this man, so you know how he behaves. You were dumb. Then we got the scene with Andy Fatima. She's in her office and talking about Gary and Penelope. And then Hayden comes in and lets Andy know that Miss Marie is pissed because she tried to contact Andy several times that last night or the night before, whatever, and she didn't answer. And so she snaps at Hayden like, why didn't you call me? He's like, are you kidding me? If you didn't answer her call, you gonna answer mine? But I'm like, this ain't on Hayden. This your fault, Andy. Because if you ask me, if you were looking at your phone to try to reach, waiting for Penelope's call, why didn't you see that? Why didn't you feel your phone ringing and stuff? You know, it's not making any sense. So you can't get mad at him. So Miss Marie lays into Andy's behind and hangs up. And Andy acts so stupid. Miss Marie, oh, and tries to lie and stuff. She ain't even good at lying. She's pathetic. I'm sorry, y'all. And then Andy goes to Hayden's office and looking like mad and stuff. That's on her. And did any of y'all notice that when Andy answered the phone, she said, "Hello, this is Mrs. Barnes." She said Mrs. Barnes. So I don't know if any of y'all caught that, but I did catch that. Then we have a scene that was unnecessary. Trey installing some surveillance cameras in the salon, and Pam is watching him and she's conversing with him. But there was minimal interaction with Karen. But is it me, y'all, or did that salon look different? Something with that whole salon setup looked a little bit different to me. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all noticed. Even the airport, it seemed like they tried to show more of the airport to make it look like an airport instead of one particular scene. They made it look a little more real, if you ask me. Let me put it that way. What else we got? Oh, we got the scene with Tony asking Danny to watch his kids that night. He's in a bind. He really needs her to watch the kids. She's like, what about Auntie and them and all of that stuff? She on a bingo retreat. I said, they got bingo retreats? Anyway, so she finally says, yeah, okay. He comes over. He said, we'll meet you at your house. He comes over to her house, got the kids sitting there when she comes in. And what kills me is that soon as he gets up and leave, he kisses them and say, be good. You know your little devils of a children are like Satan's spawn. You know, it's just like really. And they just, soon as the door closes, it's like, I'm hungry. I want this. What are we going to do? Blah, 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 blah. I mean, they were, why you won't bring your kids there and don't feed them? What do you think she's supposed to do? Cook dinner? You know Danny ain't got no food in her house. Why would you not have fed your children that they hungry and he eating up all the snacks or whatever's in the house? I didn't even know she had snacks. I know she could have gave him some weed. Then the little girl with the doggone pink handcuffs asking what they for and stuff. And then did y'all peep how she put them in her pocket and took them when her dad came? She put them things right in her pocket and took them home with her. She probably gonna show them to her mama. I was like, this is a mess. Anywho, then we have Danny showing up to Karen's house to apologize. But when she gets there, Zach and Fatima are there. And she's like, what's going on here? And Karen's like, what are you doing here? You know, she's like, well, it looks like whatever's going on here is more interesting than why I'm here. You know, but that was a cute outfit. I got to tell y'all, I felt that was a cute outfit that they had on Karen. Finally, something different. A cute little form-fitting maternity outfit instead of them little whoop-de-doo shifts and whatever they household shift dresses, whatever they've been putting on her. I like that. Anyhow. So Fatima tells Danny that they're there for the DNA results. And she said, oh, you finally took my advice. And Zach is trying to get her to shut up and stuff and not say anything. But Fatima was like, what? And Karen was like, what? Fatima was like, wait a minute. I thought you and I decided together that we was going to do this. And Karen said, I thought that it was Fatima pushing Zach to do it. Now I found out that it was my friend being the one who's behind my back trying to push for this DNA test. I was like, oh, Lord. And Zach was like, look, I was on the fence and then I talked to her and then I decided, yeah, okay. So what's the results? You know. So she said, we still waiting for somebody. And then here comes Aaron. Aaron shows up. So I didn't like how they had Zach calling Aaron a clown. I didn't like how they had him behaving. I was like, let's have Zach be more mature than this. I'm getting real tired with it. It was childish. They have Karen showing Aaron the DNA results after she told him. And because they wasn't getting it, everybody's like, what? What? You know, are you kidding me? So she's showing Aaron and Zach is like, why are you showing him first? And all this stuff, you know. And then Zach talking about, I'm still excited. I hope mine is a girl. And he looks at Fatima and Fatima's like, I could cut you. If she look at her eyes, she could want to cut him. And I'm like, really? And then when they was leaving, it was like, Zach is like, just remember, mine is mine and yours is yours. I was like, oh God, that's going to be a problem. Because if the two baby daddies don't get along, they ain't going to want you to do for this kid and that kid and what other kid. You know, it's just, it's a messy situation. The other thing I didn't like is Zach always telling Fatima, can you leave the Vaseline and sneaker energy at home? And can you leave your gun and all? Fatima's not the one who's starting everything. Okay, it's Karen who's starting it. So stop telling Fatima not to do this and not to do that, and check Karen. That's who you should be checking, Zach. Okay, sorry, but I had to get that out because that's driving me crazy every time he says that to her. It's like Karen is doing the same thing. Karen starts with calling her biatches Karen, Karen, Karen. Okay. Anywho, and I do understand Karen being upset because she only invited Zach and Aaron, the two fathers. I get it. I get it. And then Danny, with her big mouth, she's finding out this information and she's like, don't tell anybody. And Danny's going to go right back and call Sabrina or whoever and tell them this information. Now, they could have left out that scene with Grayson and Maurice. I don't like Grayson is the word clingy, a word clingy or something. He's very possessive and stuff. Oh, now that I think we should move to the next level. I'm glad you got rid of that fixation page. Now I can have you all to myself. That was his bread and butter. That was his money. That's how you met him. How dare you expect him to get rid of it because you're into him? I'm just like, I would never do it. I don't care. I wish Maurice would keep doing it, but for some reason, deep down, I think he still is doing it. From the expression on his face, I wasn't sure if he got rid of it or started a new page or something like that. But who are you to want him to get rid of it so he could be in a relationship with you? What if it don't work? Now he need money. You know what I mean? I'm like, he ain't making all that money at the bank. Anywho, the last storyline that we have that just really annoyed me, and it's with Andy. Of course, she's in her car driving, and Jordan calls her and saying he still hasn't, heard from his sister. Has she reached out? No, I haven't heard from her. This is like the end of the day now. The next day, around the end of the day. You still haven't told this man his damn sister's missing? The hell is wrong with you? That's what's in my head. I'm like, really? Andy, that is very important. And if you think Gary has something to do with why you didn't tell. But anyway, she's driving and he's telling her that he's been reaching out to Gary. Gary's not answering. Maybe he should go over to the house. And she's like, oh no, don't do that before. Just wait till I get there first. And he's like, is there something you're not telling me? And he said, because you got so serious. And she hangs up the phone. So she gets there. They got them on the couch kissing and everything. First of all, if there's something serious to tell, why are you sitting on the couch comfortable kissing? You should have been telling him the minute you walked through that daggone door. And he, hearing how she was behaving and asking about his sister and Gary, why would you be up having time to nibble on her and kiss on her? I miss you and all this stuff. That's the BS. Your sister's missing, fools. I just did not like that scene. And then she's letting him talk, and then she decides, with her little timid self, well, Gary has done some mean things and gotten away with it. And I was trying to help your sister get away. He's like, you just now telling me this? She got scared and stuff. And I was like, hell yeah. He should be up in her face like mushing her. I swear I felt like it because I felt like mushing her. She should have told him he said, you should have been telling me this from the beginning. And I agreed with him. And I know I said it in a review in the first half of season 7. I said, why is she doing all of this stuff behind Jordan's back? Why isn't she telling him that I'm trying to get your sister away so they can work together as a team? I said it and they didn't do it. So that's why I didn't like this episode, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Y'all see how upset I got about it? Because now if she had told him sooner, they end up going to the precinct, and when we see it at the precinct, Gary already making up a story saying that Andy, his ex, might have done something to his fiance and he's so worried about it, yada yada yada, that she's crazy and she's an attorney and she might have these ways. I said, oh my God, how he turned it around on her. And then she gets to the priest and, what are you doing here? And they wanting to fight. And I said, see, if she had told him earlier, they would have beat Gary to that precinct, and they would have already had their story in. But now they're thinking, because Gary got there first, because of dumb Andy thinking, oh, it's not that important, her dumb behind. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm, I'm sorry. I know it's just a show, but they have them acting stupid. I'm sorry, new writers. I don't like this. New writers, we need to get some new writers, because y'all, this sound whack. Okay, wickety wickety whack. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all thought about this episode. And I will see you all in the next one. It's your girl Barbie J saying, please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I will be doing a live on Thursday evening at 8 p.m. on this channel, June BLC. Peace.